Launches like the Maruti S-Cross and the Hyundai Creta that are creating a larger demand for many of these ancillary companies. Neeraj Munjal, the MD of Shivam Autotech, and Ramesh Suri, the chairman of Subros, join us now with an on-ground check. Gentlemen, morning to both of you. Mr. Suri, I want to start off with you. You supply, air conditioners to some of the biggest car makers in the country, including names like Maruti. Has the demand picked up quite a bit on the ground? And what kind of a growth do you envisage for your company by the end of the year?
You see now most of the vehicle manufacturers, especially Maruti, is doing very well. They are introducing new models also. Keeping that in view and the present and the new models, it is going to be a good growth in the coming quarter. As you have seen that the first quarter they have done very well. You have seen their results which was declared day before yesterday, and that's showing a very positive sign. And similarly, we expect the next quarter is also going to be very good with the introduction of the Nexa, which is going to be launched very soon. And this addition of a new model, there will be a substantial growth in the as far as our AC system supply is concerned.
Okay. Actually, Mr. Suri, there is a lot of discussion these days in the market about the 7th pay commission, which, in the previous pay commissions, people bought more cars when they got more money. So the expectation is that there will be improvement in both two-wheeler and, more importantly, four-wheeler purchases 1 year down the line. Are you seeing that in the ordering pace? Are auto companies approaching you and asking you to, deliver more next year or 6 months down the line?
You see, the two-wheeler is also is picking up, but as the trend is now, the customers from the two-wheelers, some are shifting to the four-wheeler in a small car and the mid-segment cars. So that segment is also improving, and we expect that in the coming year, the coming period also, this segment of the small and the medium, this is also going to pick up besides the new model what Maruti is introducing now.
Okay, so since you did say that there are a lot of people moving from two-wheelers to four-wheelers, let's speak with Neeraj Munjal, the MD of Shivam Autotech, which is a company that manufactures gears and transmission shafts for the two-wheeler space. Neeraj, 80% of your revenues comes from the Hero Motocorp, and we have seen a significant slowdown in some of these two-wheeler makers that have a rural exposure. Do you think the worst is over, and is the situation picking up in the rural market?
Yeah, I think so, because during monsoons, always there is a low in demand. But I think post-monsoon, always the demand picks up, and then the festival season also comes in. So we are looking forward for a good growth in the coming season.
Okay. Mr. Suri, I wanted to ask you if, you can estimate for us what is the demand growth that you are looking at in the next 12 months for your product, and what is the capex available in the industry and with yourself? Should the capex increase? Should the capacity to produce also increase?
No, as far as we are concerned, we have fully geared up for their requirement for the coming period. The capacity, what they are expecting and what they are going to produce in the coming period, we are fully geared up to meet their requirement for the present as far as the new models also. So we don't find that there is going to be a much substantial investment as far as our part is concerned. But the industry is growing as far as the other area is concerned. As you know that last year, the industry closed at 38.5 billion as its turnover is concerned, and this is going to grow in the coming period. To our expectation, it is the passenger vehicle is going to grow by 10%, and the commercial vehicle is also going to grow by another 8%. So this is because the most of the infrastructure projects the government was...
So you will see a 10% volume growth, you're saying, your sector?
Yes.
The automobile space?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 8 to 10%.
No, what I'm trying to drive at is that definitely you all have seen a fall in raw material costs across the board. All industries are reporting that raw material costs have gone down. Should we expect an improvement in your margins? You are one of the few auto ancillary companies with margins at 11% and 10%. Almost all of them report between 15 and 20% margins. Should we see an improvement in your case as well?
You see, the margin, now it is a competition. It's a competitive market. One has to see how the cost is to be controlled, whether it is a question of the wastage or the question of the quality control and the whatever the overheads are, how to manage that. Because in the competition, there are certain benefits to be passed on to the customers, not in the price, but maybe in sort of some incentives also. This is happening all over. And to take care of those, one has to organize how they can control their, as far as the operations are concerned. There is as far as the bottom line is concerned, there in some of the cases it is a concern area, but that has to be managed. Okay. And keeping that in view that there is going to be a growth and there is going to be a substantial volume are going to be, how to encash that market and keep in the market with that maybe a low margin.
Neeraj, similar question to you for Shivam Autotech as well. Although in the last year the revenues went up 12%, the margins actually fell to about 18% versus 20% in the previous year. What is the problem that you guys are facing, and do you expect to see a further crunch down in the margins below this 18% mark?
No, we were actually adding on our product portfolio.
Okay.
And we were spending a lot of money on R&D and development of new components. And we have a strategy to develop new components in our upcoming new plants in Bangalore and Rohtak. Bangalore plant will be focused on four-wheeler components, and we are focusing on indigenization of few components like components for alternators, and we are diversifying into new product range into electronic power steering system components, which actually are being imported into the country and are required for all the four-wheelers. So we are focusing on development of these new product range, and which will be productionized in our new facilities in Bangalore and Rohtak. And that is why there is a pressure on the margins. Okay. But the silver lining is that we are focusing on the new product development.
So what will your total capacity be in the Bangalore and the Rohtak plant by the end of, say, the next couple of years? What's the total capacity?
See, we are investing around 100 crores in Bangalore plant and around 80 crores in Rohtak plant. The infrastructure and plant and machinery is getting installed in Bangalore plant, and next month we are planning for trial production. So this is a strategy and vision which we are focusing on. Prime Minister's vision, Make in India. Okay. So we are adding on components which are required for four-wheeler market.
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Munjal, Mr. Suri was telling us that like the four-wheeler space, he expects auto ancillary space also in volume terms to grow by 10%. What is your estimate? In FY15, your revenues grew by 12%. How much may volumes grow in FY16 and FY17, and how much may revenues grow?
Since we are adding new products and new customers, so we expect that we will grow by 20%.
Both years, 16 and 17?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's a confident set of people from the auto ancillary space we have just spoken to. Mr. Suri and Mr. Munjal, thank you very much for joining us. So clearly turning the corner, as it were, even in the two-wheeler space. Mr. Munjal certainly sounds very confident.
And demand is picking up. That's the reason they're investing into new plants. Exactly. So they have 2 new plants coming up in Bangalore and Rohtak. But these are big gainers. However, one of the biggest losers in the auto space in the last couple of months has been Tata Motors. The discussion we have on the other side of the break, how will the slowdown in the luxury car market in China affect